Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, May 26th. Off season away. Trade season is here, kind of. Not really. It's still the playoffs, but trade rumor season, I suppose, if that's what you want to call it. Draft's coming up. We're in the swing of things. Ready to roll. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good. Just spent an hour reading what is it like to live here threads on Reddit. So that tells you how much fun Celtics season is right now. Not a whole lot going on, but we'll tell you everything we do know. Really fun show coming up. Jack mentioned it. We have a few new rumors to address today. Really great slate of emails. Noah caught up with Jaylen Brown too, so we have a little update on Jaylen and what his future is looking like, or his knee injury is looking like. We will talk about the conference finals. And then we'll do the rat list and we'll get up out of here. Should be a very fun show. Stick around through all of it. Stick around on the channel. Subscribe because we're here every single day. New pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up when there are games the morning after each one. And other videos are up in between, again, every day to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. So subscribe.
Yes, sir. Let's start with Jrue Holiday. Apparently, this is according to Mark Stein of the Stein line. League sources say Dallas is expected to show or at least explore whether there are any feasible trade pathways to Boston's Jrue Holiday, complicated as that would likely be given the 3 years, $104 million on his contract. Jrue Holiday is probably going to have some suitors this summer. Obviously, we saw the Jay King report from The Athletic of, teams are still interested in how he can help them win. We heard maybe not directly a Holiday rumor, but Mark Spears say that the Rockets and Spurs might be interested in Celtics players. So that could be a thing to keep an eye on as well. Mavericks make sense for Jrue Holiday. They don't really have a point guard right now, especially with Kyrie out, and even with Kyrie healthy, like he could still use a little bit of guard help next to the slew of wings and forwards they have and big men. So, we can hit the spot track trade machine and see what we think it could look like with Jrue Holiday, but the fact that the Mavs are interested makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, and what Nico says is defense wins championships, so Holiday would be a great fit for that mindset. And of course, Jrue had a pretty good game too against them in the finals, which of course is why every GM makes moves, because they just sit and think about that one time they were scorned by the players. Ironically enough, that's kind of how the Celtics did it. Like every time they made a move for a guy building that championship team, we were able to do a video on it and be like, oh man, like just sitting here thinking about that time Porzingis lit the Celtics up on like an April 6th game and he was unstoppable. And then they went out and they got him. But the Holiday thing, again, like if you're tuning in, the Celtics are not trading guys because they didn't win a championship. The Celtics were probably going to trade guys even if they did win the championship. The trades are fueled by the CBA trying to get below the second apron, which to do so, the Celtics have to shed $20 million in salary. When you think about how you can best do that, you look at Jrue Holiday's 2.7 million and Porzingis' 30-ish million. Those are the two easiest contracts to move in terms of how can you keep your roster mostly intact with the foundational pieces while also shedding salary. Those are the two guys that come to mind. So when you're seeing all this stuff about Jrue and Porzingis, it's not because like the team doesn't like them or those guys don't want to be here. It's fucking financial Jenga, unfortunately.
Exactly. Let's pull up the trade machine so we can see what a potential Mavericks trade could look like for Jrue Holiday. I'll put us in the correct little window here. Is this a good window for it? No, that's a little bit off. I'll move it around. But Jrue Holiday makes, I think he's gonna make like $40 million. No, sorry, 35-ish. He makes a little more than 30 mil, I believe. So we can take a look. I'm just adjusting the background for the YouTube viewers. So sorry, audio listeners, you're dealing with me rambling for a brief second. Jrue Holiday to the Mavs, acting in this league year, or next league year, I should say. We'll go boom, boom, 25, 26 operating year. We'll send Jrue, who's making 32.4, a little less than I thought, actually, to Dallas. This is probably where you see the Gafford thing come in. It's probably where you'd have to see the PJ Washington contract come in and then Caleb Martin. Like that would realistically have to be the deal, right? So
you think all work? Three of them would have to go out for Dallas?
Financially, second apron team cannot take in more salary than it's sending out. So that's where the difficulty comes in. So I think you'd almost have to get a third team involved, right? So like, what's up, Nets? Hey, how you guys doing? Like, you guys want to hang out here?
#1 Nets podcast right here.
Yeah, oh wait, am I in the wrong year? Yeah, sorry, I have to go to I have to
It
change
always
the operating
resets
year
the
every
year
time.
on you.
I know, it's frustrating. Low key, do you think your Pistons would get involved instead?
I mean, it depends who's going back.
Well,
I think you
that's
could
my
like
thought process.
talk him into PJ Washington.
That was my thought process. Like if you did Dallas gets Jrue Holiday, that way the Celtics maybe wouldn't have to send a second. Oh wait, sorry, I have to reset. I included the Nets still as well. This thing's
The
so
Nets.
finicky. It's the best one, but it's so finicky. And I didn't change the operating year again. This is the biggest pain in the ass. It just resets everything you want to go back.
Spot
Okay.
Trek Trade Machine has Jack in hell.
It's pissing me off. I'm already in a bad mood. It's pissing me off. All right. Jrue Holiday going to Dallas. Pistons would send something out. Let's say PJ Washington goes to Detroit. Celtics take on the Caleb Martin contract and the Daniel Gafford contract. And then what else? The Pistons need to send something out. I mean, let's just say theoretically they send like a nothing second. This second is not an actual second. It's just to get them in the trade. And they send them to Boston just to get them in. Financially, the Pistons would take PJ Washington into cap space, and then it would work on the other two fronts. So the Celtics would shed about 8.4 mil by doing Gafford and Martin for Jrue Holiday. The Mavericks trade Gafford, Washington, and Martin for Jrue Holiday. The Pistons get PJ Washington for, a second, or I mean, they'd honestly probably have to pay something to someone because PJ Washington's a real player, or else I don't know, or else they'd just be the benefit of the cap space, and maybe that is the case. But I don't know. I don't know if the Mavs would give anything else out in this deal. I don't know if they'd trade a second. I don't know if the Pistons would give up a couple seconds to Boston or to Dallas, but this would be the general framework, I think.
I think the Martin salary going to the Celtics doesn't quite achieve what you needed to achieve. Like,
What do you mean?
You're only shedding what, $7 million in this?
8 mil, 8.4.
$8 million? Feels like the goal. I don't know. I can't speak to what the goal is, but if you're only shedding the $8 million, you still have $12 million total left to shed, including re-signing or.
This is why you have to
signing.
trade both of them. This is like
Yes.
this is why it's a multi-tiered solution. Like you're not going to be able to get rid of all the salary in one fell swoop.
I will say this: the Gafford return's awesome. Well, not awesome, but it's pretty good considering what the Celtics are going to
You
need.
just have to pay him. Is the bad
Well,
part?
you have to pay him, or you can, don't like.
You let him
I don't
walk?
know. Let him walk. It depends what you want to do. It depends how much you like his fit. Like you have time to look at him. You can decide on that. But ultimately, going into next season, we already mentioned Porzingis and the probability that he's going to get traded. Horford, Luke Cornett are unrestricted free agents. Whether or not they're going to come back is still yet to be seen. There are a lot of people that feel very good about that, but you never know. Something could go wrong. Somebody could get their feelings hurt in a negotiation. Horford could decide he just wants to retire. We don't know yet. So having Gafford on the roster, at the very least, would provide relief for those guys. They would have a little bit less of a workload. They would probably benefit from the minutes being a little less harsh to them in the course of a long season. So I don't think it can hurt. And I also think having somebody like Gafford would have helped you in this playoff series that they lost to the Knicks. But taking Holiday out would have hurt you in a different way. So it's not perfect.
I think any trade that gets rid of at least 10 mil is good. And so this is like close enough to that where you're maybe like, okay, it doesn't exactly get us, shed 10 mil, but you get a player in Gafford versus a pure salary dump. So maybe you talk yourself into it that way. Like there's really no other way unless it's like, and the other option would be instead of the Pistons, get the Nets involved. The Nets get PJ Washington. They take a chance on a player they might like, right? And it goes to, or maybe the Celtics want PJ Washington. Maybe you run some small ball because you like his shooting a little bit better, and you resign. Let's say the Celtics get PJ Washington, right? It's a little like minusculely cheaper. Brooklyn gets a center because they have Nick Claxton, and maybe they want to capitalize on his value, and so they take an expiring Gafford back. And then you pay the Nets to take on the Martin contract. Jrue Holiday goes to Dallas, and then the Nets send out useless draft capital, right? Like these are we'll call these fake seconds, right? And then let's say instead of Dallas paying Boston, a pick, they send a second to Brooklyn, and the Celtics send like, I don't know, a couple future seconds to something like this. Like Brooklyn gets 3 seconds total in the deal to take on the Gafford and the Martin contract, and they get a swing on Gafford. They get 3 seconds. Celtics get Washington, shed 18 mil, and then the Mavericks get Jrue Holiday. Like, is this better in your opinion? Like giving up, let's call it 2 to 3 seconds and then doing that instead?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think getting as much salary relief as possible has to be the goal. And getting somebody who you kind of like in return in Washington. And if you wanted to swap him and Gafford, you could probably financially do it. I think I would rather have Gafford.
Really? I don't know what I'd rather want.
Just at the moment with the center flux, like I don't really know who's going to be on the team next year.
Yeah, no, I get it positionally. I wonder if I don't know. I feel like you could run some small ball Washington center minutes too. Maybe that's just me remembering his time in Charlotte too fondly. I don't know. I don't know who I'd rather have. I think Washington's a better player, but I think Gafford is definitely a better position fit. And I also don't know if I'd rather do this or the other one. Like as important, like extra 10 million in salary is huge right now for what they want to accomplish. However, keeping on to as many second round picks as you can is also very important. Second round picks have never been more important than they currently are. So it's kind of like a two-sided die or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how you want to phrase it, but regardless, I get why the Mavericks are interested in Jrue Holiday. I think some of those frameworks could work. Maybe the Celtics take on the Clay contract instead and get a pick with it. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe maybe instead of Washington, they're
your jerseys.
Actually, at this point, the Mavericks just might want to keep Clay. I don't know. I don't know what they would want to do. Like maybe the Celtics are. Well, actually, what about this? What if you? No, that'd be too much. I was gonna say, what if you send Washington and Gafford somewhere else? Celtics take on the Martin contract, and then you get a pick for taking the Martin contract. I don't know. There's a lot of different frameworks that you could dish out there. I think Najee Marshall could be an interesting get too. He was really good down the stretch when everyone was hurt. So if you can snag him from Dallas, that'd be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Celtics and Mavericks make some sort of trade this summer. I think it just makes too much sense with what the Mavericks are trying to accomplish and the Celtics having a guy that could really help some of their problems. So we'll see. But at the very least, interesting. Next thing, Noah Dalzell, Celtics blog, friend of the show, talked to Jaylen Brown at one of his 741 events yesterday, I believe, or a couple days ago. Wrote it up, had a few updates. I'm not going to share everything because go read the article if you want to know everything. It's on Celtics blog. It was great. The biggest, I would say, update was him talking about his knee. He said the knee is in a good place structurally. Or sorry, that's what Steven said. Jaylen Brown said he's still deciding whether or not he wants to have surgery on the knee, and he hasn't made a decision yet regarding his plans this summer and whether or not to do it. He said, I got a lot of doctors I got to get evaluated with, see the potential for surgery versus no surgery, wait to speak with the organization. For now, it's just rest and recovery. I'm taking a step back from a long season. Mentally, it was a lot of stuff going on. And then also mentioned that he might spend his offseason in Boston this time around. He said, I'm in the community a lot. I'm leaning towards being even more in the community. I'm really just trying to touch this community and be around, be available for the city of Boston. So if you ever wanted an indication that someone is locked in, he's locked in.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff Noah got from Jaylen yesterday was really encouraging. Specifically, him sticking around in the summer, I think, is really important considering, one, just the challenge he's going to have ahead of him next year. Like, it's going to be the keys in Jaylen's hand. He's going to be in the driver's seat for the Celtics team, and there are a lot of people that don't necessarily believe that he's going to be able to do it. I think that he is proving just a lot on the leadership side here with just what we saw in Game 5 moved a lot of people, moved me for sure. And wanting to be involved, wanting to be in the community is something he's always talked about when he signed this massive, largest deal in NBA history. That was the big message from the event that they held, is that he wanted to make this Boston a better place for people like him. And he's walked the walk on that. He's really been a strong figure for the Celtics and Boston, and they definitely should just not think about trading him. I think he's cementing himself as too important to the community, but also the Celtics and the impact that the organization wants to have on the community, if that makes sense. that it wouldn't make a lot of actual sense to move him. I'm sure people can still go in the comments and be like, trade him, and the salary stuff would encourage them to feel that way. But I think the human aspect here is moving a little bit of leg room, or doing leg work, moving leg room. What am I speaking about on this one?
I think Jaylen embodies everything the Celtics want to be in the community. I think that's what you're trying to say, and I think I agree with it. Like he, ever since he, came to Boston, he has done nothing but uplift the community, try to improve it, and do everything possible to be present. And I mean, Noah wrote in her story, like he was there outside in the rain for hours, meeting every single person in the line who went to see him. Like it is just very clear that he loves, this city, and he's committed to making it a better place. So I don't think trading Jaylen is smart in this latest. But before we continue, I need to tell you guys, and also go read the story, CelticsBlog.com. I mean, it's just under Noah's profile. You can see it on the front page for a while too. But before we continue, I need to tell you guys about Gametime. Gametime is the best place for all your ticketing needs this baseball season, this basketball season, hockey season, whatever season you want, and everything outside of sports too. Comedy shows, theater, concerts, anything you can imagine. I'll pull it up on the screen here so I can show you some of the best features over at Gametime. Let's check out Post Malone with Jelly Roll coming few days here at Gillette Stadium. Right here is the super deal. It's what they deem to be the best deal based on the price and the seat for the ticket. You can see the fire emblem here. That's the cheapest deal. The cheapest ticket in the stadium, excuse me. You can click on here, and my favorite part of it is the seat you click on. You can see the exact view you're getting from that seat. So you click on this seat over on the side for the Jelly Roll Post Malone concert at Gillette Stadium, and you can see what it'll look like for a concert set up that way right here. Even the stage is set up exactly like how the stage is going to be set up for the concert. You can toggle on and off the features so you can see any fees, and there's no hidden fee surprises at the end of your checkout process. On top of that, you get last minute deals with Gametime, which means you can save up to 60% buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest priced, guaranteed. Let's check out your guys' emails. Reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We got a bunch to get through today, so let's get going. And if you are a new emailer and you're waiting for them, they always take place at the end of the Celtics section. So if you're looking at the timestamps in the description, just go, you'll see the email section start, but you'll also just know that's whenever we're done talking about all the other Celtics topics, we'll go to the email before the NBA section. So starting with Celtic Nation. Celtics offseason plan. Hey guys, hope everything is going well. Here's my Celtics offseason plan. Resign Horford to a 1-year vet minimum deal. I'm in. Do this 3-team trade. All right. Well, works in Spot Track Trade Machine. Celtics receive Wendell Carter Jr., Magic receive Kristaps, Nets receive KCP, Sam Hauser, Magic, and the Magic 25th pick. I'm going to double check. I know as a second apron team, the Celtics cannot combine salaries and trades. So maybe this is a Keith Smith question. I'm going to double check if it works in the Spot Track Trade Machine. But I don't think the Celtics can send out multiple players. Mm-hmm.
I could be making this up, but is there a rule that like if a move is going to put you below the second apron, then you can do it?
I don't know. That is the, what's it called? The contingency to me saying like I don't think it's possible, and maybe it's true. That would have to be a Keith Smith question, but I don't think that's how it works, because then it wouldn't make any sense. Because then the Celtics, like, if you're a second apron team, you could combine 4 salaries, and you're like, oh, we'll be it after. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of like defeats the purpose of the rule a little bit. Let me put this in Spot Track Trade Machine though, and if it does work, then I'll message Keith or email him and say like, hey, why is this allowed? So it'd be, can you read the deal to me? It's on the screen. I'm just gonna put it in my side screen.
So the Celtics receive Wendell Carter Jr.
Okay.
The Nets receive Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and the Magic 25th pick. I'm doing this team by team just so you can do it.
Nets get Pope and the 25th pick. Yep. Thank you.
The Celtics get Wendell Carter, which I already said. Kristaps goes to the Magic, and Sam Hauser goes to the Nets.
And Sam Hauser goes to the Nets. Okay. So the Nets, it works for the Celtics because it says financial details. There'll be a first apron team after this trade is completed. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't make sense for the rule to be in place if that's the case. Regardless, I'll get some clarification based on the rule. Maybe I'll email Keith and see like if that's the actual thing. I don't hate this trade. I think it's fine. I don't love Wendell Carter Jr. as a player, but you would shed a lot of salary. If I'm the Celtics, I'd rather ask for like, I don't know, like Goga or like a younger player, and maybe they don't want to give that up, but I don't hate it. The net Magic take a swing on Kristaps, although after how he played in their series, maybe they don't want to do that. But I'll let you give your thoughts before we give the rest of the stuff.
I don't mind this. It sheds a ton of salary. Number one priority for me, I said it earlier in the show. I'm just looking
without giving up picks.
Without giving up picks, and you could hypothetically work to keep Jrue Holiday on the roster, which I think is going to be important next year. It's probably going to have to be a team that gives up both of them, though, next year. Like, you're not going to have Jrue or Kristaps. But if you were to manage to keep him, he's an extra ball-handling presence. He's able to take on that role without Tatum out there. He probably takes a little bit of the pressure off Jaylen in that respect. I do question whether or not this would logistically happen. Like, if the teams would do this, does Orlando really want Kristaps and to give up Carter, who's been like pretty, at least like prominent in their lineups? Like, he played in the playoffs. He had some good moments in the playoffs against the Celtics where he was making an impact. I think he was a big part of the Game 3 win for them, if I'm not mistaken. So that's my thoughts on their looking glass part of this. I'm sure they like the idea of getting off KCP, but do the Nets really have any kind of need for KCP or Hauser?
Hauser for sure. I mean, their best 3-point shooter this season was 34%, and that would be an immediate upgrade for them. So I think Hauser would be a dream for them. I also don't love the Celtics giving up Hauser. I would rather just trade Jrue and Kristaps, in my opinion. Keep that long-term money, keep the shooting, because, I mean, Drew's already 34. Hauser's in the prime of his career. It's like one of the best shooters in the NBA. I don't get how this trade works. I'm still like baffled. Like, that is a rule. Like, if you're over the apron, you can't combine salaries. I'm not saying you're wrong, Celtics Nation, because like it does work in spot track. You are 100% right, but it just doesn't make sense to me that like I'm gonna double check. Regardless. Oh wow, this gets crazy. I didn't see the next part of his offseason plan. Okay. Jesus. Celtics shed $6-7 million to get under the second apron after the Horford signing this trade. They also get their starting center for the foreseeable future. Magic move on from KCP's terrible contract and replace Wendell with KP. Worst case, they let KP walk in free agency and save $30 million as they're starting to pay their younger guys. Nets take on a multi-year contract players who they can flip later down the road while also getting a first-round pick this draft they can use, trade on draft night, or move up, or trade for a future player. Nets would still be $100 million away from even crossing the first apron. Second one, trade for Giannis. Bucks get Jaylen, the Celtics 25, 27, and 31 first. Celtics get Giannis. This would definitely work in spot track. I know that for a fact. Yes, I know Jaylen Brown to some people is untouchable and fairly unlikely to get moved. Don't forget, not too long ago, Brad Stevens offered Jaylen, Derek, and first for a 34-year-old KD. If you have the chance to pair Tatum with Giannis, do it without blinking. Bucks don't even have their own first-round picks for next year's season, so there's no point in them tanking. They would most likely want a return of a star player in picks. The more and more I think about it, the more I realize Jaylen Brown obviously isn't on Giannis' level, but he may be the best player the Bucks get back in a package for Giannis, and it would be Celtics 2026 playoff rotation of Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Giannis, Wendell, Pritchard, Shireman, and then Horford, Gata, Tillman. Celtics should still be slightly below the second apron and can flip Jrue or wait till next offseason to do so. All right.
You or me. I'll go. In theory, it's fun. Like, this is a fun 2K thing. And I do appreciate the thought that was put into this, because I think you did a really good job of justifying everything. And I think there is a case to be made of, like, if you have the chance to put Tatum and Giannis together, you probably have to do it, at least, like, again, in theory. But with that being said, like, I think it's optimistic to think Tatum would be ready for the playoffs next year. So if that's the ultimate, like, going all in moment, that's where the big clouds come for me. Like, I'm not really sure, because I think in today's NBA, if you're going to go all in, you have to time it and you have to really be certain. And the Celtics did that in 2024 and probably could have had things work out a lot better this season too, but it didn't work out. I think you're putting a lot of pressure on Tatum if you do a move like this.
Well,
like first and foremost, with all the other
yes.
like the Jaylen stuff we just talked about and so on. Gutting your draft picks is not something I personally would prefer to do, especially when you've built a championship winning team without having to do so. But yeah, I mean, it would be fun to talk about.
My question is, how good would a Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Baylor Shireman, Giannis, Wendell Carter team be? Still probably
Put
pretty
in
good.
the 2K sim.
Still probably.
It's the only way to find out. It's going to be one of those where, yeah, I think if you did it, people would not get mad at you. Like, there would be no outrage towards Brad Stevens if this happened. People would be excited that Giannis was going to be here. But if it doesn't work out, it would be something that people complain about for a very long time. I think the first part of this is something that would intrigue me, but I'm not sure realistically Orlando would want to do that, considering they've got a decent young core and Suggs will be back, and they probably have high hopes for next season without making any big trades like this.
I keep getting hung up on whether or not it's legal. Like, I need to double check. Is my mic right? It keeps unplugging.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
It's very finicky right now, so I'm trying not to move. Thank you, Celtics Nation, for the email. We appreciate you very much. Next one. Opening up the time capsule. Even folks want to prove you are secure in your self-worth. Share your NBA roster prediction write-up from 4 years ago. I was rummaging through my files and found your post-summer league pre-training camp 21-22 Boston Celtics by accident. In it, I talk about an aging Horford, the future of Hauser, Pritchard, and Cornette, and a few choice words about Romeo Langford and Aaron Nesmith. Have fun looking over it. I still stand by the Pritchard comment. Be well, RJ. Okay, let's see. Okay, we might not read all of this, but we'll take a look at the highlights. Post summer league pre-training camp, Boston Celtics. I'm gonna share this tab. Let's see general stuff. I'm just gonna go player by player so we don't like read everything. And we'll read
deal.
You know what? It's just 8 pages. I'll read it. It's fine. Your post-summer league pre-training camp 21-22 Boston Celtics. Now that we've seen the youngsters in summer league, the dust from free agency is mostly settled and we are still weeks away from training camp. What the hell are we going to write about? I mean, without resorting to clickbait trade fantasies like a bag of chips at Dunkin' Donuts and Jabari Parker for Bradley Beal. Well, let's look at the 21 players listed on the Celtics roster per Celtics.com and see where they fall in the scheme of things. Yes, 21. I'm going to break them down into a few groups. Rotation players, end of the benchers, dark room as it needs development, and it's been fun for the players who I think have likely played their last game for the Celtics. To make it easy for me, I'll take them in alphabetical order. Yamadar is not listed because he's already signed to Belgrade and off the Celtics roster. Juwan Begarin. He's played solidly all summer, both on offense, defense, and offense, showing he was unafraid of the contact along with learning on the fly. He's going to Europe to physically mature and improve his game with playing time, but I see Begarin make it to the NBA before his 21st birthday. Dark room, but not on the roster. How old is Juwan Begarin?
I heard he's not playing well overseas, for what it's worth.
He's also 22 years old, so not there yet. Not there yet.
Still relatively young.
He's still 22, but he is. Last time he shot in 10 games in the EuroLeague, he shot 14%. So not great. But then he shot 40.1%. It's not great. It's not great. His scoring has gone down year to year, which is never what you want. Jaylen Brown, the only question mark for Brown this year is how his wrist surgery and recovery time impact his continuing development. Easy to forget he's only 25 years old and still improving his game. Obvious rotation player if his health is solid until then he's an end of the bencher. Yeah, just based on the wrist surgery. That's fine. Chris Dunn brought in for his defensive abilities. Dunn needs to be a rotation player. If he slides to the end of the bench and the Celtics need to move on from him quickly, if he's on the roster longer than Jeff Teague was, he needs to actively be contributing more than Jeff Teague did. Chris Dunn never suited up for the Celtics, unfortunately.
I forgot they had him for like a cup of coffee in the summer. In hindsight,
moment in time
would be cool. Probably wouldn't be making the contract he's making or have gotten the opportunity, but in 2025 would be cool.
Right now would be cool. Carson Edwards. I'm a Purdue alum, and I love it when the Boilermakers get to the NBA, especially for the Celtics. That said, right now he's an end of the bencher, but with upside. Why do I believe in him? Last year he played 283 minutes, shot under 36%, and a minuscule 28% on three-pointers, while only dishing out 13 assists. So where do I see the upside? Well, only Well, because the numbers I just quoted don't belong to Carson Edwards, but are Romeo Langford's 2021 totals. Edwards played 7 fewer minutes, but outshot Romeo. He is definite role. If he is given a definite role to fill and an opportunity to play into it, I think he'll be a solid contributor. Wasn't there for Mr. Carson. Sorry, man. Taco Fall. I haven't heard of Taco signing with another franchise or league, and the Celtics still have the second two-way contract slot available. At the end of the day, you don't walk away from a 7-5 guy who is also a joy to the fans when all the rest of the year center rotation has more issues than the library's periodical section. I hope Darkroom, but if Taco leaves Boston, it's been really fun.
It's fun while it lasted.
Taco wasn't there for a brief moment in time.
It's also,
Bruno
by the way,
Fernando.
it's funny that this is a article or a write-up he did before a finals run.
Bruno Fernando. One of the challenges for the Celtics at center has been everyone is so different in their style of play and weaknesses. Whole lineup changes when a new pivot comes in. What I like about Fernando is that he strikes me as a Rob Will light. So when Time Lord needs a breather, the Celtics don't have to dramatically shift how they play. Energetic, has reasonable rim defense and rebounding skills with good role to the hoop offensive game and to the bencher with possibilities of a rotation player. Didn't get there. Didn't get there with Bruno. Hauser, this year's entrant in the Kyle Korver lookalike contacts. Remember Max Strus? Max Strus. With him already signed to a two-way contract, he and his spot-up three-point shooting seems a sure bet for darkroom status, but two-way contract kinds have been known to be let go if something better shows up. Again, remember Max Strus. Well, Hauser has far exceeded the Max Strus conversations, at least for the Celtics. So
They both panned out okay.
They're both fine. Al Horford, welcome back, Big Al. Al will mentor younger players and be around to annoy the living hell out of Joel Embiid. I hear he still has some game left too. In his previous 3 years with Boston, averaged 30 minutes and 13 points while playing about 70 games in the regular season. His minutes better be in the 20 to 24 range. Otherwise, something is wrong elsewhere on the roster. His biggest contributions will be made come playoff time. Rotation player. Yep. Safe to say that one panned out. I think that one did all right.
Speaking of panning out.
Yeah, Enes Kanter. Do you realize Kanter's only 29? I didn't. Of all the players Brad Stevens added, I'm the most puzzled by this one. Kanter's style of play seems at odds with the Celtics, like doing an offense and defense, and to the bench only because they don't know where he fits on a nightly basis. Yeah, he's stunk. He's not good. He wasn't very good. Sorry. Luke Cornett. Do the Celtics believe they have a better chance of teaching Kanter to shoot threes than getting Cornett to rebound the offensive glass? That's my guess. Cornett will stay in the league as long as he shoots acceptably from three-point range, which is a weird thing to say about a 7'2" center. It's been fun. It has been very fun, and it's ironic. That's the most ironic one.
We did a video that Luke Cornett may have screwed the Celtics because he was playing too well.
Yeah,
now they're gonna have to figure out how they can keep him.
Romeo Langford is a Purdue alum. I used to really dislike IU players, but then I realized I just couldn't stand then coach Bobby Knight. I say this so you know my biases. Langford seems to be the quintessential day and stretch pick, injured player with big upside that slides down to the Celtic spot. The best win of the sort so far is Rob Williams III. What will Langford look like when he's healthy and he gets consistent minutes? Darned if I know. I will say that I believe Langford could get traded out of Boston before we know his potential might more value than his reality. If I'm coaching the team, I'd have him as an end of the bench right now. And he's gone. And he's out the league. Not out the league is Aaron Neesmith. Neesmith and Langford are the same age and have roughly the same physical stature. Differences in their development has Neesmith played 2 years of college ball and has been relatively healthy. Oh, and he can shoot and he defends like his hair's on fire. Which I mean, half the time he's trying to put out his own hair when he should be playing defense. He should, if he keeps just demonstrating progress though, and that puts him in the rotation player group for me. And instead, he was traded, and now he's in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, shout out.
But your description was accurate, pretty accurate.
Indeed. Indeed. Jabari Parker, there was a time in the last 20 years where if you had a front court featuring Parker and Kanter, you'd feel pretty good about your offense. Those days are fun, as are in the past, as should Parker's time be with the Celtics. It's been fun. Yeah, it wasn't that time for Parker. He was fun, though. He was cool for a fleeting moment of time.
I think I shouted him out like last week. I was like,
probably.
Bring him back.
Peyton Pritchard, rotation player, also Celtic most likely to break Wilt Chamberlain's single game scoring record. Yep.
Almost
you got it.
Game.
Josh Richardson, defense, and more defense. My only problem with Richardson has less to do with him and more to do with the Celtics' overall roster construction. Richardson, Neesmith, Langford, and Begarin are all 6'4" to 6'5". Speed and length on the wings are good things to have, but height is nice too. Otherwise, people will pass over the top. Because of this experience and other people's injuries, Richardson makes it as a rotation players. Sure. Dennis Schroeder. First off, Dennis will force people using Marcus to remember that the umlaut is option U, not option O. Dennis is definitely a rotation player, but we get to find out if he is one of those annoying guys in the opposition that you love when he's on your team, or he's just one of those annoying guys. He's just one of those annoying guys. I didn't love Dennis
I
Schroeder
couldn't
for
wait.
Boston. He's a good
Couldn't wait
player.
for
He's
you to
just
say it.
it just didn't fit
It's
with
good
the
for our
Celtics.
Pistons this spring.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Smart is not only a rotation player, but someone who can be strongly considered for team captain. He's the veteran leader of the Celtics and deserving of being recognized as such. Damn. Jason Tatum, rotation player. Why not Tatum for captain? Because he needs to be reminded that as good as he is right now, there's still so much more of his game to be unlocked. Marcus doesn't need to coach him as much as he needs to remind him that there are more winning plays than unstoppable offense. And he's been pretty good since then. Tremont Waters, he's likely on the it's been fun list, but he's a smart, energetic point guard. He can distribute the ball. I'm going to miss him and wish him well. I think he'll get regular minutes in the NBA. Tough. Grant Williams, too short, too slow, not a great natural shooter, but his intelligence and enthusiasm make him a keeper. Maybe his career path winds up looking like Scalabrini's or Luke Walton's, but Grant Williams is the 12th man on the bench. Means you're going to have a great teammate and positive force ready to go instead of Captain Cranky Pants, who is whinging that he doesn't get PT into the bencher. Yeah, he's fine. And then Rob, last one. Robert Williams third. Let's imagine for a minute that Rob's health is no longer an issue. The key to him staying focused on the floor is letting him make those insane passes. His court vision and passing ability are the best I've seen since Dennis Rodman was on the Bulls. Go watch video. I'll wait. He loves to pass, encourages development in that area, and the Celtics make a tremendous leap. Rotation player. So Beggar and Cornette, Parker, and Waters are off this year's roster by my reckoning. That means Hauser or Stauser and Taco can stay on two-way contracts, and the Celtics 15-man roster looks like this. Brown, Dunn, Horford, Neesmith, Pritchard, Richardson, Schroeder, Smart, Tatum, Williams, and then end of the benchers, Edwards, Cantor, Langford, Grant, Fernando. All right. Some hits, some misses, and a healthy look back at what could have been.
What a different time it was. It's funny how many guys were on the team then and also now, but just how much they have grown. Like Cornette, Pritchard, Hauser, even Grant, in some way where he was someone that was barely an end of the bench guy and then won them a game 7 effectively that season.
Yeah. Anyways, before we continue, I need to tell you about CLNS Media. If you're listening to this, you are listening on the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel, which means you should go leave a like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on. We'd appreciate it very much. We drop new shows or new videos at the very least every single day of every single week of every month of every day, 5 a.m. in your inbox, full length pods on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, but also pop on over to the CLNS Media YouTube channel. You can check out all of the press conferences, all of the content you could possibly want during the season and in the off season when they come up, all the press conferences. Make sure to subscribe there as well. And the CLNS Celtics All Access channel has all your favorite podcasts from You Got Boston with Noah Dalzell. She goes live all the time. You got the A-List, you have Dome Theory, you have the Garden Report when they go live, and then also First to the Floor, our good friends there. So make sure check out Celtics All Access channel, subscribe there, subscribe to all the individual YouTube channels as well. We'd appreciate it very much. Back to the email. Next one we got is Jared. Sup? Hey boys, despite doing my best attempts to be the eternal optimist, it's obvious that the Celtics we've come to know and love for the last 2+ seasons are going to look vastly different when they take the court next. I'm holding out hope that our window isn't fully closed, but I'd like to look back and talk about our 3 favorite games from this iteration of the team. I'd say post trading Marcus Smart. For me, it'd be opening night of the season where we tied the record for 3-pointers in a game. I still believe that this level of team is capable of playing 2 on a nightly basis when they were healthy and locked in. I would do all 3, but I'm lazy. I don't know. Maybe just pick 3 between the 2 of you. I'm losing steam here. Have a good day, guys. P.S. You still owe me 33. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, 3 games. 3 games. What are you thinking?
Let's see. Did it say regular season games? I'll pick game 1 of the finals. That was awesome. Just the Porzingis, especially if you want to talk about the Smart trade. That was the one moment you always will look at with Porzingis. Be like, yeah, that was fun.
Sure.
It was fun to see him make all those threes. Other favorites that I have.
I like the
Go ahead.
indie game. The which one was it? It was the one with Jason Tatum corner pass to Al Horford behind the back and the Jrue steal. I think those were the same game, right? That was, I believe it was the same game.
I don't know.
I think it was the same game.
Because they had to win in such similar fashion in both the games, but
I think that was the same game.
regardless.
That game. I think that was game 3. I think that was game 3.
Okay. 3 was awesome.
Game 3 of Indy. Yeah, game 3 of Indy, I think was it. Let's pick a regular season game 2 to wrap it up. What regular season game can I remember that I really liked? The Lakers game with Luka.
Oh, the Lakers game was awesome. Yeah.
That was good. That was great.
Good pick.
Okay. Thank you, Jared. Hopefully those suffice to your likings. Michael Hilly, Spotrax trade machine shenanigans. Hey guys, I couldn't let everyone else have the fun pretending to be Brad Stevens with Spotrax trade machine, which is a superior trade machine. Had some ideas to how to shed some salary, but still keep some value on the roster. Okay, let me open this image in a new tab so we can see the full thing without having to scroll too much. Okay. Celtics get Corey Kispert and Daniel Gafford. Wizards get PJ Washington and Omax Prosper. Mavs get Jrue Holiday. Celtics shave about $4 million. I just don't know if they're shedding enough salary in this trade to make it worth it. I mean, I do like Corey Kispert, and maybe you do trade Daniel Gafford, but Corey Kispert, you already have Sam Hauser, and so like you're already looking to maybe trade that. I like this in terms of getting players back, but I think you need to focus more on shedding more salary, unfortunately, because I do like this deal.
As much as I'm the biggest Hauser hater, I think if you're going to downgrade him for an extra $4-ish million this season, it's not really worth it. And like at first I was like, oh, like this could be interesting. Like Kispert will come in, he'll have a couple years left on the deal. And then I was like, oh, who'd he be replacing? Oh, Hauser, who also has years left on his contract. But we talked about Gafford at the top of the show, and I still think he's an interesting get this summer. I think he makes things a little bit more easy to go along with the center position here with the potential for the massive change that could come. So getting him would not be bad, but who knows what Washington would want to do here.
Yes. Is this another one? Oh, yes, another one. Okay, let me open this in a new window as well so we can see the full thing. Here we go. We have Celtics get Corey Kispert, Chris Dunn, and Drew Eubanks. Wizards get Bogdanovich, a second and a first. The Clippers get Jrue Holiday. 8.2 is a little bit better. I don't mind it as much. It still doesn't clear enough for my liking. Like, I think if you could find a team to take on the Eubanks and maybe even the Dunn contracts, you just get Kispert, that's fine. Or maybe take on the Kispert contract and the Pistons take him and then you just take the other two. Like, I think that's the key. 8.2 is not bad though. And I don't hate this.
I definitely like Dunn as a guy to get back in a Jrue trade. Ironically, we just had the RJ email where I was like, it would be sick to have Dunn on this team. If you want to replace Jrue Holiday, at least defensively, Dunn can do a little bit of it. He's a pesky guard defender. With that being said, the Clippers did not make it out of the first round this year a lot because they were just treating Chris Dunn like he was Ben Simmons. So if Chris Dunn is going to be an impactful NBA player, he's going to have to shoot the ball a little bit better. And with the Celtics being such a three-point heavy team, a team that loves to get the volume up, his fit is questionable.
His fit? Oh,
fit.
When you said fit for some reason, I thought
You
like
thought I meant outfit?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are
Yeah,
you talking about?
his fit in this picture is questionable. If he's on the Celtics, the fuck is he wearing a Clippers jersey for?
Obviously. Says who's this? Michael? Is Michael's email? Yes, Michael says the Clippers continue to spend Steve Ballmer's nearly endless supply of money in hopes of reaching the finals. They will likely try to add Jrue Holiday this offseason, as they reportedly tried to do in the 23 offseason. That's actually really true. We have the Wizards, who I previously stated would be willing to take salary for picks and young players. They get 30 in 25 and a future second in 26. Clippers get their stud point guard. They want, and the Celtics clear $8 million cap, get another Kispert, and some salary filler to make it work. I actually really like this trade and think it helps all teams with what they are trying to do. Ultimately, Celtics will be trading Jrue and KP for a bag of potato chips, but this is way more fun. Thank you guys for reading. I hope you enjoyed and keep up the great work. Thank you. And then did I miss your explanation of the other one? Yes. Of the Mavs trade with Kispert and Gafford coming to Boston. Mavs might be one of the teams to make a move for him as the new point guard in a bad way. Wizards have enough cap to take on some salary. Exchange picks for a young player, maybe an overpay from the Mavs, though, but I don't see them holding on to Gafford for too long as he's expiring, and they have Lively and Davis. I don't see Omax, Celtics draft hopeful in 23. getting played over Clay, Flag, or Najee Marshall. The problem is convincing Mavs that they need Jrue Holiday and pick 32 over PJ Washington. If they think they do, it might be a good trade, but the Celtics cut only $4 million. You can convince yourselves the Celtics and cut the other 15 with Hauser and KP, but then you have to go re-sign Horford and Luke. So it's likely a no, but I really like Kispert, LOL. And then Kispert's in the next one too. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you. Next. Scouting report update. Couple guards from Michael again. What's up, guys? Here's an update with my scouting report for the 25 draft. I tried to avoid guards for the most part in my original report because I feel like bigs are in need of ours. I've seen some of these guys mocked to us and wouldn't hate it as long as one of our other picks takes someone like Yaxel, Landenberg, Maxime Fleming, etc. Here you go. Chaz Lanier, Tennessee, 6'5" guard, 3 levels scorer in the paint, mid-range and 3-point range, 43.7 from 3, 6'9" wingspan. Offensive rebound / hustler, not the best playmaker. Definitely gets accused of shot checking. Elite isolation player, not the greatest handle, but his shot off the dribble is NBA ready. Player comp, Magnet Ball Pacers, Aaron Neesmith. SRO, 6 Rings of Steel was talking about how he really likes the fit for the Celtics.
Friend of the show.
Shout out. Okay. Chaz Lanier. I don't know. I haven't seen much of him yet, but we'll have to take a look.
We'll put it in the list.
Mm-hmm. We got to make a list. Next one, Tyler told me how to pronounce this and I forget. Labaron Philon. Apologies. Alabama, 6'4" point guard. High usage, very skilled player with great handles. Struggle shooting, 31% from 3. Defends like a dog compared to Derek White on defense. Very good decision maker. Legit was guarding 1 through 5 in the playoffs. Matches Missoula ball defense perfectly. If he can fix his shot mechanics, could be a serious player. Not my favorite, but could be a good project for the G League. I like Philon's defense a lot. So, or Philon, I don't know. But I like him.
I'm in favor of both descriptions. I think there's room for both of these guys within the Celtics next year roster. Considering the possibility of a Jrue trade, you're a little thin at guard. Whether you want that to be a shooting guard type or a point guard type is up to you. But Lanier's size certainly is intriguing to go along with that 44-ish% clip from 3. I would like that very much.
Indeed. Thank you, Michael. Next email. RJ said, since prize picks won't handicap this, even folks who will leave the Celtics and how or who sticks with the team, they're all 24-25. Since the bookmakers won't offer those odds, I've attached my own percentage chances for various outcomes, along with brief notes on why I handicapped them this way. I also included one parlay. Here's a spreadsheet. I'll be curious to hear your thoughts. Be well, RJ. So, RJ says, Jaylen Brown, 98% chance he stays all season. 1% traded during the summer, 1% traded before the deadline. And he says maybe someone makes a truly stupid offer, but that's it. Cool. Torrey Craig, 90% signs elsewhere, 10% retires. It was nice, Torrey. Have fun on your next stop. Okay. JD Davison, 80% stays all season, 20% trades before deadline. If he doesn't show development, he could be a Springer Banton. I think there's also a chance he does signs elsewhere or doesn't sign because it's a team option, but we'll see. I mean, they might need the guard depth. So Hauser, stop me at any time if you want to talk. I'm just gonna run through them.
Sure.
Hauser, 95% stays all season, 5% traded before the deadline. Only trade possibility is if internal scouting shows his 3-point field goal percentage declining and the Celtics want to recoup value. I think there's a chance he's traded during the summer, but I don't think he should. But
can you imagine if they just get some crazy return? They obviously can't get that much physically back, but if they got a first round pick for him, I'd be like, oh.
I think you get multiple picks for Hauser.
Multiple firsts?
Yeah, 2. A first and a protected one or something. Listen, man, his contract.
I think I would do it.
No, maybe 2 firsts. I don't know.
If you get 2 firsts back, that's a free $10 million shed.
With
the picks.
If there's nothing coming back, then yeah. But I don't think the only teams that could do that are the Pistons and the Nets, and maybe the Pistons do it. And maybe you consider it, but I don't know. If there's salary coming back, I don't do it. If there's no salary coming back, you might consider it.
I think the Pistons peek around the corner at that. They're thinking about it.
Maybe. Jrue Holiday, 75% traded during the summer, 5% traded before the deadline, 20% stays all season. Pretenders wanting to become contenders will want Jrue on the roster as soon as possible. Al Horford, 20% retires, 5% signs elsewhere, 75% stays all season, 5% traded before the deadline. The only reason for the 5% chances are if Al decides to ring chase this year. See.
It's a real possibility. I mean,
Nah.
Well, that part of it is an interesting storyline to think about because, I mean, maybe things are just going so poorly you don't want him to have to, like, sit out the end of his career watching the team go up in flames.
I think he'd rather stay. I don't see it. I don't think he'll ever put on another jersey. I don't see it.
I hope you're right. I don't know what to think yet. But I don't really think he's going to leave and sign elsewhere anymore. I think I've kind of shifted.
All right. Luke Cornett, 25% chance traded during the summer, 75 stays all season. Do you mean traded during the summer? The C's hold Luke's bird right so he could be a summer swap if someone showers him with money. I see, like a sign and trade.
Can the Celtics do that?
They can't
It's a
take
first
in a sign
apron
and trade.
Oh, okay.
I think. So I think theoretically, I don't know. Maybe they can't complete a sign and trade. I'd have to check on that. I think it's having a 0% signs elsewhere is wild. I think that's very possible. Miles Norris,
I think it's closer to like 50.
Yeah. Miles Norris, 30 or 20% traded before deadline, 80% stays all season. They can't trade two-way players. So for Drew Peterson and Miles Norris, they'd have to be released or something. But I think they'll probably be back unless they find someone better. Kristaps, 1% retires. 15% traded summer, 55% traded deadline, 29% stays all season. Keep retiring because of some random medical condition would not surprise me, but I think Brad may try to get some sort of value out of his expiring contract. It's a matter of when. I don't think he's on this team when the season starts. I don't think
he's here either. The retirement thing was a little bit more funny to me until I realized it would be because he just physically could not play basketball anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if he just was like, you know what? Like, I'm good, man. Like, I don't want to really care. That would be a little bit funny. With Kristaps, though, or anybody, if the guy retires for a year and then comes back, how does that work? Like if you're MJ, right? I don't know how it worked when MJ retired. Thing about Celtics, like, what if there's like a handshake, you retire Kristaps, and then we'll bring you back
What do you mean?
year? Like, okay, Kristaps on this expiring $30 million contract. Right?
Yeah.
The Celtics are eagerly trying to get underneath the second apron. What if they're like, hey, you retire?
Oh, yeah, no, that would surely be against the rules. Like, almost certainly. I can't imagine that would be allowed.
And then
I don't know how it works.
MJ
but...
I'm back press release.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would be allowed. I can't imagine it would be allowed. I think they would still have to pay something, or it would count. There'd be some shit against that. But I don't actually know. Pritchard 100% stays all season. No one will overpay enough for Pritchard for them to let go of his contract. Kada 90% stays all season, 10% traded before deadline. Same reasoning as JD, Miles, and Jrue, but it's easier to hold on to a 7-footer. God, I hope not. Shireman, 95% stays all season, 5% traded for the deadline. C's get to a place where they can aggregate outgoing players, and Boston is getting something very good back, I guess. Tatum, 1% retires. Jesus Christ. 99% stays all season. I never discount medical possibilities, but realistically, JT isn't going anywhere.
Right.
That's not fun to see. Xavier Tillman. 5% retires, 55% stays all season, 40% traded before deadline. No one knows what's up with X's knees, but if he cannot contribute, he will be shipped out elsewhere for cap space. I agree. Jordan Walsh, 20% traded before the deadline, 80% stays all season. Same argument as all of the people outside of the circle of trust. And then Derek White, 1% traded before deadline, 99 stays all season. Make the Celtics a stupid overpay or shut up. And then his parlay are KP and Drew, both traded as 60-1. KP only traded as 10-1. Drew only traded 4-1. Neither traded is 800-1. I would put all of the money in my bank account on 60-1 odds. Are you what? 60-1 odds for both traded?
There's no way he meant that.
Surely,
like, maybe it's like 1 to 60.
I'm hammering. I'm taking it all day. I'm putting like $100 on it.
I can retire.
My cool.
No, dude, I'm putting my everything.
Yes. Thank you, RJ. Appreciate you. Next, Michael Hilly says, ban me from Trade Machine. Jesus Christ. Okay. He says, exactly what the subject says. It's 1 a.m. and it's 1:28 as his email. It's 1 a.m. and I've broken the trade machine. I invented the trade that makes it work for everyone. This is Giannis out of Milwaukee. Kristaps salary dump trade. Lakers get their center, Cam Johnson, all in one. I'll explain the thought process below. Let's look at this
Okay, let's see it.
monstrosity. Okay. Wait, why? Okay. It's only a 3-teamer. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. So, Celtics get it's a 4-teamer. Celtics get a second rounder and cash considerations. Okay, huge. Nets get Giannis, Rui, Kleber. Okay. Bucks get Porzingis, Cam Johnson, the 8th pick, the 26th pick, and 2 future firsts. I think there's a lot more than that, but I think there is more to go around. And then the Lakers get Nick Claxton.
Is the Celtics? I guess they're only getting the second.
Yeah.
And all that cap relief.
And
which I
$30
like.
million in cap relief, yes. Hey. I think more first would have to go to Milwaukee. I think you'd have to the Nets would have to give up even more first round picks because I think they have more. And I think that the Bucks are going to gut whatever team. 4 first round picks is not enough for Giannis. It's just not.
It's hard to put a price on Giannis, actually. Now that you say it like that.
Exactly. Right. I'd have to look at what else. It'd have to be swaps. It'd have to be okay, dude. Look how many firsts the Nets have available to them. They're not getting away with 4 firsts, right?
Good for the Nets.
Bucks. However, it is possible, right? It'd be 8, 19, their first round picks in 2029 and 2031. They'd want Houston's pick in 27. They'd want New York's pick in 28. They'd want New York's pick in 29. They'd want New York's pick in 20. It'd have to be 6 or 7 first round picks. That said, if I'm the Nets, I still might consider it because why not, right? You're getting Giannis, you're getting Jrue, you're getting Kleber, you're getting.
By the way, the Nets are obsessed with Giannis.
Yeah, and
every time is we're gonna go get Giannis.
And after this, I'm pretty sure you'd still have what, $40 million in cap space. If you're
That's true. The Nets
So-
just have infinite cap space.
And then Bucks get Cam Johnson, who they can recoup value and maybe trade it, and then an expiring contract in Kristaps. Lakers get their center. I really don't hate this. I don't hate this for anyone. If the Nets are willing to shell out the firsts. I don't really know. I hate to say it. Celtics don't need to be involved in this trade. There's really no purpose. There's no point.
Well, they get their cap relief, but I don't know if
No.
Milwaukee
I'm
really
saying,
cares about getting Kristaps.
Exactly. I'm saying if I'm the Bucks, I would say no. I just we can just do this without him. I don't think I'm doing this if I'm
Do we know if the Celtics do the Celtics give them any draft capital in this? I think if you're Milwaukee, you could be convinced if you're getting something attached to Kristaps.
Maybe give him
you're just looking to load up.
Maybe give him pick 32 or a future first, something like that, and then you get that cap space. So maybe I don't hate this though. I'll read the explanation he has below. Celtics dump Kristaps and get under the apron, get a solid second. Honestly, you can get rid of it, but I'm a greedy Celtics fan. Yeah, I think they'd have to give something up, unfortunately, Michael, in return for facilitating a salary for the big trade. But it's not a necessary salary because the Bucks don't need to take back that money, right? It's not like the Celtics are taking anything in, so they could just do it without the Celtics, unfortunately. Lakers get their center for Rui in a first. I had to edit sending Brooklyn to 28 first because Spotrac crashed. It wouldn't let me. LOL. Sorry. Bucks get 4 firsts and trade pieces in KP and Johnson. Could even get more with seconds probably. Nets get Giannis and out of first. They still have plenty of first and big salary guys to make more moves for another star. Obviously, it's crazy, but super fun to make. As always, keep up the content. Thank you. Yeah, I just don't think the Celtics would be needed.
We were all in, and then we were just wait a minute.
Wait a second. Yeah. Although maybe if you pay for it, maybe if you pay him to take on the contract, but here's a 3-team version of the crazy trade I sent you earlier. And then no explanation. It's just an extra little thing. Okay, so this is without Giannis. It is Nets get Kristaps, Rui, Maxey, and a first. Lakers get Claxton and a second. Celtics get a second. Again, I just don't think the Celtics are needed in this trade, unfortunately. Unless the Celtics are sending a pick to the Nets.
Can
right?
the
Like,
Nets
let's say the
convince
Celtics
themselves they can compete if they get
no,
Kristaps, or at least like
no,
place?
no, absolutely not.
The Nets
You're
just
starting
don't
on
feel like a team that can like
yeah,
convince themselves the expiring is worth taking a swing at. You know what I mean? Like
unless
there are
they're
teams,
getting a
if you told me
first,
they wanted him, I'd be like, oh, okay, like maybe.
unless you're getting a first round pick. Like, take a first and take on Kristaps, and I'd still do it. I'd give him a first to get a 30 million in cap space, 100%.
I think giving up a first to get off an expiring is bananas. I understand the task at hand, but like you're better off giving it if you're going to give up picks, you give it up with the Jrue contract.
I disagree. I'd rather give up a first and Kristaps and keep Jrue.
You would rather keep and pay him $37 million when he's 37.
Yeah, because then Tatum is back and he is still going to be. He will still be a better player than Kristaps is at that point.
Right, but the second apron thing is not going away. Like you need to avoid that for the next 3 seasons.
No, but it'll flatten out a little bit more next year because you're off of the 30 million. You'll like. I don't think they'll be in the second apron if, like, I would need the double check. Like, I don't know if they're going to be a second apron team again, and maybe they will be. I don't know. I'm not as much of a Jrue contract hater as general consensus. I think he's a good player. But last email of the day, Jacob Lindholm, possible Jaylen Brown trade. Good day, y'all. Hope this finds you all in a good health. I've been trying trades and ideas more to keep the Celtics afloat rather than being a tank team, and I feel like this one takes the cake. What are your thoughts on Jaylen to the Spurs, Giannis to the Celtics, Vassell and Barnes to the Bucks? Okay, I'm going to assume there's just like an obscene amount of first round picks going to the Bucks. On its face, it works in spot track, and I feel like the Celtics' first deal, KP and Jrue Holiday, for spare parts and picks rather than the main piece of the deal makes more sense. Of course, any team gets to meet the deal above with picks. I mean, yeah. What are y'all's thoughts? And am I off base? Thanks for the good contact, Jacob. I think the Bucks would need like 8 first round picks if this was the return, maybe 10.
Yeah, because
if you're not getting any good players,
tank mode.
Yeah,
because again, they don't
tank.
have their firsts.
Yeah, like the Bucks. If I'm the Bucks, I would just say fuck the Spurs. Give me Jaylen Brown. Right? Like honestly,
yeah, they just close the Spurs out of this.
Yeah, I think they would just like kick him out and say I want Jaylen instead. I don't think Jalen's going anywhere. I think the idea of Giannis on the Celtics is interesting, but I don't think it's a realistic.
I don't blame anybody for putting it in the trade machine. That's for sure.
Exactly.
You will not be ridiculed here.
No, I get it 100%. Okay, Eastern Conference Finals, Sam. Knicks-Pacers.
Knicks-Pacers. Game 3 did not go the way I wanted. It was a sad hate watch last night, even though the insurance hit, which was nice. That felt good. But got a little PTSD of the Celtics series, watching our Pacers just go up 20 points and then slowly not be up 20 points anymore. It was like actually the worst unraveling possible because Cat went off and he's the worst. And he was doing all the celebrations in the fourth quarter.
He played great.
He did play great. He saved their season. Considering that they didn't even have Jalen Brunson on the floor for like the majority of that quarter because he got a 5th foul and they just didn't want to put the defensive liability. Cat deserves all the praise today. It's very sad for me. Hopefully, Papa Halliburton being back in the arena lifts the Pacers next game. We got a Shams tweet about it today. It was a breaking news story that he has been unbanned from Gainbridge Life Fieldhouse after his run-in with Giannis in the first round. It is huge. He was going ballistic after game 1 when Halliburton hit the game-tying shot. They had the video of him in the bar watching along. But game 3, listen, I'll tell you what about this series is all the games have been really fun to watch. It has been great playback content with Jake. We've been doing the Celtics blog streams, and we've had a blast. Even last night, we had a really good time.
Indeed. I am trying to find a picture to share. I'm going to have to text. Oh, here. So this game was happening last night, right? Pacers Knicks, and I was at a party. My girlfriend had like people over at her house and was like, oh, I'm going to, have people over, whatever. And it was a lot of her friends from college, and there were a lot of like boyfriends there. And I had the game on my phone, and I started a movement.
They don't have a TV.
The TV had like stuff on it, like they were like listening to music. I didn't want to like control the TV because it was like one.
I get it.
And so I put it on the phone, and the fellas watched the end of the game. And as another one of them, his name's Liam, as soon as the Celtics were eliminated, he put a future on the Pacers to win the East. And so he was not thrilled. But no, it was a good game. Shout out. It was fun.
He should have hedged it.
See what happens. Yeah,
After
right.
game two. You should have tweeted that yesterday.
That'd be funny. Yeah, good picture or good game, good picture, funny picture. Party's fun though. Like I had no complaints. I had a good time there, but fun series. I mean, they keep like for all of like results aside, banger game after banger game. Like just good.
Yes.
I mean, game 2 was kind of a blowout, but if you're rooting for the Pacers, it's fun. But
I'll be back on playback, I think, for game 4. I'm almost like I'm 95% sure I'll be there. So if you guys have enjoyed those or have you been there, we'll be back. It's been a ton of fun. Can't wait to hate watch. Hate watch, even in defeat, is a grand old time.
Yes, sir. All right. Next, speaking of blowouts, Wolves Thunder. Thunder lost by 42 points in game 3 to the Wolves, and no championship team has ever lost by 40 points in the playoffs.
How much did Celtics lose in the finals?
30 something, not 40. I saw people comment that. I don't think it matters. I think Thunder is still going to win this series. I think this was a classic. You go back home, you get, oh shit, like they're down 2-0, they're playing desperate, is what it is. And then the Thunder just like let go of the rope a little bit to where it got to like ballooned out to 40. But Wolves have life, I guess, at the very least. Right? So see what happens.
I'll be monitoring game 4 tonight. We're recording this in the afternoon, so people listening know what the result was, but we do not know what the result is just yet. As good of a response as you can have is if you're Minnesota, right? Like you can't really. What do you want out of them? They did everything they could do. They just have to keep doing it. That's the thing about the playoffs. There's no aggregate score, so they don't all of a sudden have a series lead because they won by 40. But it's good for them that they did so. I think it's probably good for morale. Game 4 is going to be the biggest test. Oklahoma City's been punched in the mouth now. Shea had a rough game by his standards. Only had 14 points. That's going to be a big how are you going to respond MVP moment for him. I'm sure they'll love and relish in the opportunity to try and quiet the crowd at Target today.
Yes, 100%. I hope the Wolves win just to make it interesting. I think a longer series is more fun anyway. So
I agree.
We'll see what happens. Except for the Pacers. I just want the Pacers to win.
You end it. Yes.
That said, I know you're going to hate. You better hope the Pacers win the series because I'm going to be rooting for the Knicks in the finals.
I don't think they'll win. So
we'll see what happens. Last thing before we go to the rat list is a report about the Sixers and their
being on the sheet,
their place in the lottery. It is from Mark Stein. He says, if there's a trade in Philadelphia's future involving a third pick, don't expect the Sixers to move down very far in the 25 draft board. League sources maintain that the Sixers are determined to add a dynamic and talent to the core after a tremendous fortune they enjoyed in the May 12th draft lottery. Such players are usually found by drafting, or in this case, staying as long or as high as possible in the lottery. Just take Ace Bailey. Just take him and call it a day. Like, there's no need. I mean, I guess if you want to get future draft capital and you're like, you love like a Trey Johnson or a Kamad Malach, and you're like, oh, we'll take one of those guys, but just take Ace Bailey and go. I think he's like a slam dunk.
If you're Philly, this is a big moment. You have to hit on this because you just lit a season on fire, got rewarded for it. I don't think they should trade out of this. I think this is a good opportunity for them to try and like run 2 timelines with the hope of Embiid being healthy again to make you competitive, and also having Maxey and McCain as 2 young pieces that you can get excited about, and then this 3rd overall pick, whoever you decide to pick. We'll have to see. Draft night coming along fast.
Indeed, we got to start our draft video soon. All right, Ratless, all you.
Ratlist was the gym today. Everybody and their mother at the gym on Memorial Day. I've never seen it so busy in there. Limited hours. I think it was only like till 1 p.m. they were open.
They had to squeeze it in.
There's everybody in there. So many people in the way, moving around, taking up the benches, taking up the weights. People having weights at their benches when they're not even using them. My favorite thing about going to the gym. It was jam-packed in there. Respect to everyone showing out on the holiday. Had to earn whatever hot dogs and stuff they ate all weekend, I guess. That's how it goes.
Exactly. What do I want to rat list? I played ball today. Went 1-3. Was not thrilled. Noah's dad just murdered us. He's the best shooter I've ever seen in real life. It's like that I've played with. It's insane. It's uncanny. He doesn't miss, and so he just like drained 3 after 3 after 3, and we lost. We won the last game. I was getting mad, so I'm glad we at least got one win in. I like hit a few post shots, so it works.
What were the
But
teams? Who was playing?
it was we ended on 4s, but we lost a bunch of 3s because we only had 7, so we played 3s. When it was 4s, it was me, Bobby Manning, his friend Justin, who you don't know, not Justin Turpin, and then Kelly, Noah's roommate, versus Noah, Bobby K, Noah's dad, and her friend Keon. So a lot of people that wouldn't be known by the stream, but yeah.
I see. That makes sense.
But it was fun. I don't like losing, so I wasn't thrilled at the results, but it was fun.
I'm gonna not rat list it, but I will say I watched this movie on Netflix yesterday called Nona's with Vince Vaughn. Awesome movie. It's about I guess it's based on a true story. Guy opens a restaurant in Staten Island, hires like Italian grandmothers to come in and like make their best recipes, and just emotional movie. I was sad at the end.
Damn.
So it had my emotions going strong.
Well, shit. I don't know if I have any more rat lists. I think I'm good. I've got nothing. I gotta go read 100 pages of a book before 6 p.m. So that's my rat list. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No, we can get out of here.
All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every single day. New videos drop 5 a.m. daily. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps morning after each games in the season. And other videos are up here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us streaming live for pre-games when they're happening. But again, no pre-games for a little while, I guess. But we'll do other streams like the draft, free agency. It'll be a good time. Be on the lookout for those. We're on Spotify and Apple too. All positive recaps are up there. So if you just want those, go ahead, follow. They will go right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them all. You saw on today's show. Big thank you to everyone who sent them in. Gave us a ton of content. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam with France NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco.